What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Well, it was a couple of days ago that Hurricane Beryl was an extremely dangerous Category 5 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 165 miles an hour and gusts up to 200 miles per hour. Weakened a little bit, but it still was a strong Category 4 of 135 to 140 mile per hour winds when it went through Jamaica, causing extensive damage to that island nation. Now, Texans and the state of Texas, people who are in Texas, will be affected by Beryl, which has weakened to a tropical storm at the time of me recording this, a little bit after 2 in the afternoon. But Beryl is expected to reorganize over the next several hours into the night, and it will make landfall somewhere along the Texas coastline as a hurricane. So we'll re-strengthen as a hurricane. At one point, a couple of days ago, it was expected that Beryl was going to strike Mexico and maybe skirt the Texas coastline, but the storm took a more northerly track than early anticipated, and it will strike somewhere along Texas. It's now looking like it's going to be more the northern Texas coastline rather than southern. Conditions will deteriorate along the Texas coast as early as this afternoon, late afternoon and evening into Monday. Because remember, even though the storm was expected to make landfall tomorrow morning, the storm itself extends hundreds of miles from the center, so the effects of the storm will probably be felt as soon as I would say maybe late evening into the overnight hours. The main effects that will be felt from the storm will, of course, be flooding, storm surge, strong winds, and as we all know, those who follow weather, because of the friction that occurs when these storms go over land, it causes a spinning in the atmosphere, and unfortunately, tornadoes almost always occur with decaying tropical systems over land. Usually, all or most of these tornadoes are on the right front quadrant of the storm, or the better way of putting it, if you look at Beryl, the northeast section of the storm, that's where most of the tornadoes be formed. Now, the only good thing I'll say about it, that's not really a good thing, but one of the better things, I guess you could say about these tornadoes is usually they're weak. F0s, F1s for the most part. Very rarely do you get an F2 and F3 tornado from a hurricane or a decaying tropical storm. And they usually don't last that long. And they tend to be lower to the ground, by the way, too. You know, sometimes when we think of tornadoes, we tend to think of those classic Great Plains tornadoes, the wedge tornadoes, or sometimes the long condensation funnel. With tropical systems, usually the tornado is a little bit lower to the ground. Like I said, they oftentimes don't last too long, maybe a minute or two, sometimes a little bit longer, the stronger ones, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. But still, a tornado is a tornado. Even an F0 has winds of 40 to 70 miles an hour, so that still can cause some tree limb damage, etc., etc. I'm trying to see how fast this storm is moving. Let me see something. As of this, the time this article was written, Beryl was sitting about 195 miles southeast of Corpus Christi, Texas, and moving toward the northwest. Beryl will intensify Sunday as it tracks toward the Texas coast for its final landfall tomorrow morning. Tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 125 miles from Beryl's center. I don't really see exactly the wind speeds as far as how fast it's going, but as of the last uh, advisory, Beryl had wind gusts of 65 miles an hour, so it's only 9 miles away from hurricane force. I was trying to see how fast the system is moving. The reason why I'm trying to see that is because a faster moving system means that the bigger threats will be wind, uh, tornadoes, rain too, but it's when these storms move at a crawl or sometimes even become almost stationary that you can have the dramatic, devastating flooding like we saw with Harvey a couple of years ago. When Harvey was uh, literally dumping rain on the same area for days. I think some of those areas in I think southeast Texas or eastern Texas got like something like 50 inches of rain. It was raining so much. Um, I don't know if the rain is going to be that big a problem, but I mean, still, even with a faster moving system, you're still going to get 6, 8, 10 localized areas of 15, maybe even 20 inches of rain. These tropical systems are usually juiced with rain. You know what I'm saying? Now, some of the faster moving systems, like I remember when we had Isabel in 2003 to hit Virginia. In 2011, we had Hurricane Irene. We didn't really have that much rain. I mean, we had rain, but I think it was more around the 1.5, 2 inch, variety. I mean, which is still a lot of rain, but we know how much rain can fall on these systems. Right now, there is a hurricane warning from about Corpus Christi, Texas, just to the south of Houston, and can't really see exactly what these areas are, but Houston is under a tropical storm warning. That might change, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I just want to put this video out there because I know I got subs that live in Texas. So be on the lookout for this type of weather. This isn't something that is strange to most of you all. Usually these videos are done a little bit later, maybe late July, August, and September. But they warned us that this year was going to be probably very, very active. I still remember 2005 when we had so many named systems that the Hurricane Center exhausted the list of names. They went from A to Z, and then they had to go into the Roman alphabet or the Greek alphabet. I forgot exactly which one it was, but they had to literally start calling these names, these storms, other ulterior names other than the usual list of names. But this threatens to be a year similar like that. So similar to that. So just want to do this particular video. And then I guess, in the days afterwards, I'm just using common sense, but I would expect if it hits Texas, it's going to continue on a sort of a northeasterly turn that I guess Louisiana, maybe Arkansas, Missouri, maybe the Tennessee Valley will be affected by rains. Don't know exactly, whether it might get caught up with a weather system after that, merge with some system as it decays. I don't know, but I guess the immediate threat right now is Texas, and then probably maybe some impacting some portions of Louisiana, maybe Oklahoma, maybe Arkansas, maybe Missouri, and we'll have to see from there. Anyway, tell me what you guys think.